From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is a winter weather alert.
All right, it's 8 o'clock in the morning here. Fred Gossage in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center with an update on the winter storm situation across the area. We're doing these updates live at the top of every hour through the day, through 5 p.m. this afternoon. And then we're going to scale back from the live coverage as we'll start to transition to rain for the overnight hours. And also, you'll pretty much, most of you guys will be at home way before 5 o'clock. Here's an overview of the watches and warnings across the area. These are not going to change from here on out, but just to look at the ice storm warnings and the winter storm warnings and the winter weather advisories across the area. These run from now through 6 p.m. tomorrow evening, so we have a long way to go. Here's Viper Live Doppler Radar, now brought to you by Fuller Services out of North Alabama, and you can see the wintry mix here across the area. There is a little bit of a temporary break right now from Russellville back over through Moulton, Decatur, and Athens before things pick up as we head back from the shoals into North Mississippi, but light to moderate snow and sleet over southern middle Tennessee. It's a fine grainy snow and then some sleet. I've been looking outside here this morning outside the studios in Lawrenceburg, and yeah, there's some light snow out there, but it's going to be transitioning freezing rain today, and it's already mixing with sleet. Down into North Alabama, it's already freezing rain and sleet, and it's going to be an icy situation as we head through the day. We have an increasing number of road closures and exit ramp closures across North Alabama. Starting to get into southern Tennessee, we have accident reports increasing, that type of thing. Light snow mixed with sleet now spreading northward into much of Murray County, Tennessee, extending through Lincoln County, Tennessee, Giles County, Lawrence County, Wayne County. It extends well back to the west through Hardin County as well. It's just that this is from the Huntsville next. We're at the high top over in Jackson County. You're shooting farther in the atmosphere the farther you go up. That's why it looks like it breaks up over Hardin County. It really doesn't, and I'll show you that in just a moment. We'll slide down to northwest Alabama where we have light to moderate precipitation here, and you see the activity picks back up when you get a closer radar in Hardin County to Shamingo County, Mississippi, getting into sleet and freezing rain starting to pick up in intensity as well. Huntsville metro area, it's a little more spotty now than it was a couple hours ago, but there will be more precipitation through the morning. But as we get deeper into the afternoon, we'll start to see temperatures start to climb above freezing here in the Huntsville metro. We just have a few more hours before that happens. You can see we have plenty of precipitation to go back to the west, extending all the way back into Oklahoma and Texas. So a lot to go, and this will continue to fill in as we head through the next several hours here. But it's not going to be sleet and freezing rain and snow the entire time here, because warmer air will pull up from the south starting later today and then through tonight and through the morning hours of tomorrow, transitioning this over to rain across the area, especially tonight in the morning hours of our Sunday. We'll talk about the forecast here as we go forward. First off, we'll look at some sky cams so you can see current conditions outside. You can see what roadways look like, that type of thing, kind of be an eye out to the real world for you. 17 degrees in Lawrenceburg. Notice that traffic is moving, but it's moving slowly. Or on North Locust Avenue, you can see the ice and snow starting to build up there. Definitely starting to build up on the sidewalks and the parking lots in the city streets. I know that not everybody has the luxury of staying home today, but if you do, if it is optional for you, it's not for everybody, but if it is for you, do take advantage of that luxury and stay home if at all possible. We will see some improvement later tonight into the morning hours of our Sunday, but we have to get through there first. Here's a live look from the University of North Alabama atop Rivers Hall. You see Pine Street here headed back into town. You see some ice on the roadways here on Pine Street, so icy conditions in the shoals as well. 20 degrees here with a dew point of 16. I've added a few more sky cams in here, so I kind of need them to pop on the screen. Can't remember it now. These are old summer conditions. You can ignore this. That's because the sensor data went out, and you can tell it's not 89 degrees down there. But you can see that the roadways are ice covered and snow covered in Pulaski. This is from atop Fort Hill looking back southward across the town. It's just as icy here as it is anywhere else. That's from the Giles County Emergency Management, by the way. They've helped sponsor those for us. This is atop Columbia. You see light snow and sleet falling there, overspreading the city. 16 degrees here with a dew point 11. This is from our friends also making this possible at the Murray County 911 and Emergency Communications Center. This is atop the big hill there on the north side of downtown. We'll take a live look at Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, with some light sleet and mainly light snow grains falling across the area. You see really icy roads here in the downtown. That's why I wanted to show this shot. This is an example of what roads look like just about area wide in southern Tennessee, North Alabama, Northeast Mississippi. Now 17 degrees here. Now the little jump here, that's a latency issue, but you can see he was slipping a little bit in the UPS truck. 17 degrees with a dew point of 12. Let's go to our next camera. This is the top Montesano Mountain. This is with the camera share agreement we have at the guys down at the Alabama Network. 19 degrees here overlooking Huntsville as we look west from atop Montesano. Dew point of 15. And again, we've had numerous accident reports in the Huntsville Metro. They've actually had to close all the on-ramps and off-ramps to Memorial Parkway, and Green Mountain is closed and other roadways like that. So conditions have really gone downhill, not just in southern Tennessee, but in North Alabama as well. Here's Savannah, Tennessee. A look over the Tennessee River. You see the icy bridge there on U.S. Highway 64. Icy conditions at ground, sleet, and light snow grains falling. 18 degrees here with a dew point of 14. Slide to our next camera, which is Waynesboro, Tennessee, and the roadways are flat out white here in front of the E911 Center. 16 degrees here with a dew point of 9. Since we're starting to get white roadways here and we're not seeing a whole lot on the ground itself, that tells me that it's more of an ice situation starting to occur now, switching away from the light snow and more of an icing situation, and that will continue as we head on through the day today. Here's a look at Hohenwald, and the roadways are rough looking up there. It's continuing to go downhill. 16 degrees with a dew point of 9 in Hohenwald. People are getting through, but the roadway's definitely looking rough, and it's no wonder why. Here's a look at current temperatures across the area. It's into the upper teens over much of southern middle Tennessee. Fayetteville, Tennessee holding on to 21. Low to mid 20s across all of our North Alabama and Northeast Mississippi County viewing areas. But you notice we get back over here toward Northeast Alabama. It is into the lower 30s instead. It's still down to the 20s on the US 278 corridor, but you get deeper down in central Alabama, it is above freezing. That will come northward later this afternoon. This is the big story right now, the road temperatures. This isn't the air temperature. These are the pavement temperatures across the area, and they're upper teens and mainly lower 20s across southern middle Tennessee. They're still in the 20s over North Alabama, Northeast Mississippi. So it is no wonder why we're having all these roadway problems. You get road temperatures like this, and things stick to the roadways very, very easily, even a little bit easier than it does to the ground, because the soil temperatures were between 35 and 40 before this all started. So no wonder why we're having the travel problems even on the surface highways across the area. The wintry mix will continue this morning on into the afternoon, and notice as we get into the afternoon, you start looking at Athens, Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama, Moulton, and Decatur. We start warming above freezing by midday and early afternoon and transition that over to a light rain. Now watch what happens by the early evening. Places like the Shoals and Russellville and Red Bay, back up to Fayetteville, Tennessee, and southern Giles County and far southern Lawrence County, they start switching over to just rain just after sunset this evening because warmer temperatures come north and get above freezing. You go past midnight tonight and it gets above freezing all the way north of Columbia and north of Hohenwald and north of Lewisburg. We're into the lower 40s over northwest Alabama. The lower 40s actually spread up into southern middle Tennessee. This is the 6Z herd run. The 12Z I'll be able to show you next hour because it will be processed into the computer system. It's not yet, and I can't show it on air, but I will be able to at the 9 a.m. update. The 9 a.m. update gets places like Lawrence County and Giles County up into the lower 40s before daybreak in the morning. So warmer air will be coming northward during the overnight hours tonight in the morning of Saturday. and allow this to switch over to rain. It will allow this ice that we're having to have some melting, some roadway improvement later into the overnight hours and tomorrow morning. But as we get toward the midday and afternoon, the temperatures start dropping again, and we get another window where we may have some light icing before things wrap up by the evening. And then the problem is whatever's left on the roadways as we get into tomorrow evening will refreeze in the black ice. Even if all the ice will have melted into liquid by then, it will refreeze back into black ice tomorrow night. And even though the winds will be gusty tomorrow night to help with some drying, it won't clear everything off the roads. So we're going to have black ice on into at least parts of our Monday. Our ice accumulation forecast has not changed. We see zero reason for it to change looking at the current data here. 1/4 to 1/2 inch accumulation of ice from Columbia, Lewisburg, down through Pulaski, Lawrenceburg, Etheridge, down through the Loretto and the St. Joe areas, back over to Cypress Inn, down to Cloverdale and Waterloo, down to the Cherokee area, Belmont, Mississippi, Red Bay, Alabama, 1/4 to 1/2 inch of ice accumulation before it transitions over to rain tonight. The dark red areas over here from Lewis County down through Waynesboro to Lutz, all of Hardin County down through the Iuka area, 1/2 inch or more of ice, and that's where we're going to be concerned about maybe some more widespread type power outages later today and through tonight. Even if it transitions over to rain tonight and we get some melting in these areas, the damage will have still been done before then to the trees and the power lines, so that power outages will still be likely in those areas. Not everybody getting out of power, but they will be pretty widespread over there, and it could be a few days, because once you get 1/2 inch of ice, you really start doing some weight onto the trees and the power lines. Now, this milky pink area here across the rest of North Alabama up into Fayetteville, Tennessee, light ice accumulation this morning. But as we head to the afternoon and the early evening, these will be the first places that get above freezing and switch over to rain because of that. And then the rest of the area does that as we head deeper into the evening and the overnight, continuing into the morning hours of our Sunday here. Again, we have a little bit of snow this morning, especially in southern middle Tennessee. It's not an impactful accumulation to where like you're measuring it in inches, that type of situation. It's enough to cause the roadway problems this morning, but in terms of like measuring a deep snow, that's not what this is. This is an ice storm we're dealing with. Widespread travel issues. They do start to correct themselves during the overnight tonight into the morning hours of tomorrow. Temporarily, we do see some improvement before black ice late tomorrow and tomorrow night. Power outages possible in those heavier accumulation areas. So here's one more look at the watches and warnings across the area valid through 6 p.m. tomorrow. Our next live scheduled update will be at 9 o'clock this morning. We're doing live cut-ins at the top of every hour today through 5 o'clock. Our next one will be at 9 o'clock, and I'll have that new model data in with that update. Fred Gossett here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Stay with Tennessee Valley Weather. We'll keep you advised.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.